We are on the internet, and by we, I mean me, and I should probably be over here. Hello! The early crew, y'all came in strong. Boboso, thank you so much for gifting that sub to the Omega Gambit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brevin, welcome back from month 11. That's nearly a year, buddy. Happy almost birthday. Welcome in. Dabbling Warlock, welcome in. Tabletop Junkie, always good to see you, buddy. Fosco, welcome in. And Savage, always leading the charge on the early crew. You are so appreciated. I made tea, and now we're on the internet. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Hey yo, you got a need? I'm here to help. Thanks for sharing that. That's beautiful. Thank you. Excuse me while I sip and swallow directly into the microphone. Sorry about that. I doubt that was pleasant. How have y'all's weeks been? Mine has been great. I've never heard anyone be like, oh, why don't you grace us with blah, 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 blah. Every substitute teacher, when I just set that down and I'm already picking it up again, this tea is awesome. Every substitute teacher that I ever had growing up had something to say about my name. It was awesome. You know when you're 11 and you're like, oh my god, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Don't acknowledge me. Maybe if I stay still, they won't be able to sniff my fear. I'm working on a zombie apocalypse tabletop RPG campaign for All Flesh Must Be Eaten. That sounds fucking awesome. Tell me about it. What's the deal? Give me the what am I looking? I'm the marketing person. I should know what it's like. What a short pitch is called. Give me the elevator pitch. Tell us about it. That sounds really cool. Currently reskinning the CNC Ranger class into a Falconer using the AD&D 2E kit as the template. Here's the thing. I might need you to share that with the class. Did you bring enough Falconer to share? There's a school theme going on tonight. I don't know what's in the water. I'm a boy. When I was then, I always wanted them to look at me. There were two kinds of children. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. How are you? How's your week been? How is the games and such? Are you running it at the GUOGC? GUOGC. What is the GUOGC? Hey, this is Waves. One of us. One of us. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Wishing it was still the weekend. Oh man, I'm with you. I've been plowing through a book series right now, and long story short, one of them was 700 pages. This is not like bragging about page count. It's just the most that I've written in a long time. The one book that I was finishing was 700 pages. I was halfway through. I finished the one half and then woke up the next day and got the next book in the series and then finished that on Sunday. And so today I spent all day writing. And a lot of the weekend writing, to be fair. If I wasn't reading, I was writing. That was to the zombie thing. Oh. Gotcha. What if D&D was one of us? That would be sick. Hey, Waffles, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? How's your week? The world suffered a viral outbreak that is mystery. So far, I just finished the first story arc, and now we are getting growth on what the virus might be, but have not figured it out completely yet. Then the world began falling into chaos. So far, the 68% of the US have been affected within the first week. It could be 69%. That'd be nice. I'm a kid, I'm sorry. It has not reached the other countries yet. It might have by now, but we shall see. You can see it on my YouTube channel. Everyone go follow Tabletop Junkie on YouTube. That's not a bit. Go follow Tabletop Junkie on YouTube. Tabletop Junkie was one of our Summer of Siege streamers over the summer and ran an amazing campaign. So search up Tabletop Junkies Gaming on YouTube and go follow. And then make your way back to Trollord Games, twitch.tv/TrollordGames. Smash that dislike button. Go fuck yourself. I'm in a mood. I don't know what kind of mood it is. I'm kind of going crazy. I think that's what it is. I think I'm going a little bit crazy. Any of you that watched Blood and Briar, which was the first campaign that I ran on this channel, with the Charisma Cats. It wasn't last year. No. God, when was that though? I don't remember. But that adventure, I'm writing it into a module. And I'm very excited about it. It's a mystery. And it has like a little bit of horror elements, which is hilarious because I can't do horror ever. So I can dish it but not take it. And I spent the weekend working on it, and then all of today working on it. I need it to be like 18,000 words. And I'm currently at the last chapter, and it's 19,000, so I know that I'm gonna have to go back and like cut some stuff. But when you've written a mystery, it's like pulling a Jenga tower, because everything... I'm trying to make this adventure, and really maybe this is my own problem and just the stories that I like. I really like when things connect and when everything has a purpose within like the larger storyline, and things like connect to other stuff if you're like looking for it. So it's full of shit like that. So if I like cut something, then like something else that's more integral to the main plot of the story like suddenly feels like maybe a little random. I don't know. But also maybe I've never written an adventure module before. I've never ran an adventure module, so it's also a battle of like figuring out what is useful to include versus like what am I just writing because I think it's cool. You know what I mean? Very early spring. Maybe it was very early spring, because I remember it raining a lot. Doing horror is hard, but then again, who am I to talk? It's all hard. It's all super hard. I'm a horror fan. Man, I wish that I could be like you guys. We've talked about it here before on our Monday night chats, but I admire the storytelling in horror so much. I think it's so cool. And I just cannot stomach it. And it goes deeper than just like it's icky and I don't like it. Like I won't be able to actually like stop thinking about it if I like see something that really scares me. A lot of it is just like people in pain. I can't do people in like really, really graphic, like explicit, like bone snapping pain. That it fucks me up for periods longer than weeks. So always been that way. Am I alone? I was sitting at the edge of my seat for one of the PCs, being Jennifer Valentine, an athletically fit nurse who was almost 8. By the way, we lost 4 people in this adventure already. I'm just picturing your adventure as if it were like one of those reality shows where there's like what's the thing when like you're in a reality show and then you like cut away and it's like just you in a room talking about like whatever just happened, and it has like your name and then a little thing about your role in the overarching story of the reality show, and it's like Jennifer Valentine, almost 8, and then she's talking about it. Wouldn't that be cool? October is right around the corner, so bring it out at the end of October or beginning of November. Classic. Yeah, so it's going to be included in the next issue of the Crusader. Crusader 29. It's going to be the adventure that's included in there, and that'll be coming out in October. So I have to finish it tonight. I have to finish writing it tonight. I'm going to go right back to it after this. And just to jump right back in. It's eating my brain. It's a worm in my brain eating all of the gray matter, and there's very little left that I can use for anything. Hey, DM Synther, I am also working on a horror adventure as I type this. Dude, tell me about it. How's it going? What's it about? How's your process? A homeless man made it, but then succumbed to the flu and died, sadly. They do say that about the flu. It's the silent killer. Do they call it the silent killer? I imagine that the flu would kill a lot of people in like a zombie apocalypse kind of scenario. I feel like sickness and like just disease, general non-zombie disease would kill more people than zombies. Maybe that's my hot take of the night. If there were a zombie apocalypse, more people would be taken out by disease. Hey GD, how are you? Good evening to yourself. How was your week? What are we feeling icky about now? Just the violence in horror movies, because I'm a big old wimp, but I'm still trying to write a horror adventure. I can't watch reality shows. Is that your equivalent of horror? Here's the thing. I have a very real, actually, not a bit. I feel so strongly about this. I have a really, really strong hot take that I feel strongly about reality shows. And in particular, dating shows. Don't go anywhere, I promise. We're not going to start talking about dating shows. I don't watch them. Here's why. I think that, like, dating shows, like dating reality shows, are our modern day gladiatorial combat. Let me explain. People would watch, like, the gladiatorial stuff for, like, entertainment. And why? Right? Like, is it the spectacle of, like, the pain and the just seeing the blood splatter and it just, like, gets your blood going, like that kind of deal? Why do we watch dating shows? It's to watch people, oh my god, get their fucking hearts broken on live TV in ways that are often, like, really ridiculous. It doesn't add up, or it adds up too well. Anyway, I'll get off that tangent. Excuse me. Well, that is the misunderstanding about a zombie apocalypse. There would be no true story. Yeah, man, if you restrict the flow of information, that's like the deepest blow you could cut this world that we've built. Hey, playing some games. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. How's your week going? I agree, because the amount of vermin that will be around due to all the rotting flesh and mosquitoes, zombie mosquitoes. I think those would be the worst, most notorious transmitters of a zombie virus. Virus? Illness? I don't know. I agree the zombies would be bad, but the world falling apart would kill off even more. Yeah, that feels to me like the age-old question of, like, who's more dangerous during a zombie apocalypse, a zombie or, like, a power-hungry guy down the block. Hey, Foxa, welcome in. We're talking about zombies and dating shows and shit. How are you? The PCs slowly lose all memory of their past lives as they wait for the day to be called to judgment in the necropolis of the god of the dead. That's where it starts? It's going well. The characters start at level 1 and later find out, much later, that they are dead and in the Shadow Realm. That fucking rules. I really like that. That's really sick. I love a deal where, like, people wake up with no memory. I just, like, that's always A+ from me. Especially that dating show where the guy was a serial killer. Oh my god, I just learned about that, like, last week. I don't remember any of the details except that it happened. Infections would take many souls. At first, diabetics and others with conditions managed by medication are the first to go. Oh, yeah. Well, you, like... My stupid privileged ass is like, could you take a brick and loot the pharmacy? But if you're already sick or managing chronic pain... Whoa, God, sorry, we've got fruit flies in here. It flew right in front of my eyeball. Yeah, I guess probably it would not be quite as simple as looting a Walgreens. There is no such thing as a reality TV show. That's fair. I watch MMA, kickboxing, and anime. Man, yeah, I've been trying to get more into anime as well. Because again, I've been really liking the stories in anime. I just finished... no spoilers, but I just finished the season finale of season 2 of The Apothecary Diaries. Great show. No spoilers, I hated the ending of that season. Gladiators were a mix of WWE, boxing, and MMA, and murder. Don't forget the actual real murder and dismemberment. No dating shows are for the... I'm not going to say anything about them other than I do not watch them. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think that it appeals to the very same part of us that really liked watching gladiatorial combat. Whatever thing it is that in people. And I think a lot about what that is. Like, if it's just we enjoy... seeing people like in pain, which sounds insane, but maybe it's like a mirroring thing where it's like, oh, okay, you're in excruciating pain or dying. That makes it less scary to me. Or like, okay, you've just had your heart broken and you're crying. That's something that I've felt before. So like I'm seeing my own experience like reflected onto you in a way that I can project. I don't know. I think it's more similar than they are different. Google Rodney Alcala. Rodney Alcala. His parents' first wrong move was naming him Rodney. That's what he looks like? No. Hang on. Hang on. Just a second here. What is my fucking shit with this again? Hang on. What in the Weird Al Yankovic is that? Wait, shit, it doesn't even show you. God damn. Hello? Listen, I mean... I won't hate. I won't knock on him. He's a good-looking dude. Anyway. I'm not gonna ogle over serial killers. Power hunger person, either man or women, except I would believe a woman would be more diabolical about how she goes about acquiring the power of the new world. I'm flattered. The first thing that would go is cities would be very restrictive. The more dense the population, the harder it would be to avoid the predators. Yeah, that's true. What's your guys' plan? If the zombie apocalypse started right now, I know that most of you have a plan. I have a plan. I know where I'm going. I'm not even going to tell you my spot, because that's how serious I am about it. But I've got a spot. I've got a spot that I would drive to. I'm not a doomsdayer or anything like that, but there's tools and there's food and there's everything that we need. I think I'm actually uniquely positioned with where I'm living right now to have a really good shot to be final girl in the zombie apocalypse. Northern Michigan wouldn't be bad. I'm thinking mosquitoes, right? Like, mosquitoes are gonna be, I think, in my understanding of a zombie apocalypse, like the biggest, they're like bees just pollinating the zombie apocalypse all over all of us with our, the pollen of our, you get the metaphor. I don't have to do this. But yeah, like Northern Michigan, pretty good as far as like mosquitoes and mosquito management. Or like Southern Canada. I just think the further north you get, you're gonna have a better shot. Go to the National Guard Armory a few miles from my house. Are they gonna let you in? I would be a friend to as many as possible. Get bit and join the zombies. Join the zombies. Y'all are like, yup, I'm playing the long game. See y'all later. Just gonna nope out. I'm a pretty tough big guy, so I'm going to turn as fast as I can and become an alpha zombie and eat everyone I can. Hell yeah. No, the new thing is Sigma. Sigma is the new thing. I don't know if you've heard. You gotta be a Sigma zombie. Get on that grind set. You're waking up early. You're eating your brains without any milk. You're reading up on philosophy, aka listening to the decapitated corpse of Daryl whisper in an eldritch voice that you somehow recognize. You're having power thoughts. I don't know where I went. Don't ask. Step 1, gather my family. Step 2, head to the middle of nowhere where not even most people would not think of. Step 3, Rick Grimes this shit. Just be like Rick Grimes. Then there's no problem. Things didn't turn out well for his wife, if I recall. Is that true in the comics and the show? I read the comics when I was in like high school, and I haven't watched the show because wimp. Stop giving up my secrets. Sorry. Remember having a conversation about this with a friend of mine back in college. Long story short, it started in a red state. It wouldn't be around for too long. Here's the thing, all the states are going to be red soon enough. Red with blood. I'm just going to hang with my gaming group as long as possible. Yeah, honestly, just grab everybody and be like, let's just game this one out. Zombieland had the first rule correct though, cardio. Oh my god, yeah. Cardio would be huge. The mosquitoes here in Tennessee are cute. They're so tiny compared to the ones back in Florida. I don't want to hear about your death monsters in Florida. It's so scary. Don't you tell me right now that you have giant mosquitoes in Florida. I don't need to know. You already have alligators and the swamp. You have the swamp, the big swamp. The swamp that's scary. You got snakes in there. You don't need big mosquitoes. You've done enough. You have enough. You're cut off. The comics and the show, The Mother Was Lost, but Carl made it to the end with his own family. Comics is better. Isn't that always the case? I'm glad to hear that Carl made it. One of the best places to go in any scenario, zombies or whatnot, not just nukes, is a drugstore. Most have few windows and doors, and they have all the meds and food you'll need for several months to a year. That's... I hadn't thought of that. I've just been thinking of, like, pharmacies and drugstores as places to, like, get in and take what you need and leave, but I guess you could just... If you control the pharmacy, you're sitting good. You're sitting pretty throughout the zombie apocalypse until you run out of stuff, so that sounds pretty good. I hadn't thought about that. Florida, the Australia of the United States. Ah, yes. Have you guys done the thing? Search Florida man and then your birthday and see what crime comes up. Hang on, I'm gonna do mine right now. Florida man. A Florida... No. I have to investigate this. This isn't on my birthday. And this is BuzzFeed. What is BuzzFeed doing talking about crime? Are you serious? No, that one doesn't count. A Florida man who was arrested 25 years after a fatal stabbing, thanks to DNA from beer cans, was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison on Friday. That happened on my birthday. They have giant spiders too. No. I'm just gonna like act like that's not true. I'm just gonna create my own reality. It's fine. I'm just not gonna consider giant spiders. It's fine. Everything's chill. We live in a world without giant spiders. It's totally fine. And everything's fine because there's no giant spiders here. Gators and crocodiles in Florida. What's the difference? Isn't it that the direction of their bite strength, I'm sure that I'm saying that wrong, like gators clamp down and crocodiles bite up or something like that? So the reason why there's a Florida man is because arrest records are publicly available there to anyone. Yeah, I heard about that. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know anything about it, but that's cool. That's interesting. Did you jump and scream when you did the first dungeon in Skyrim? No. Not a baby. I might have gotten a little bit frightened. Honestly, really, the thing that actually jump scared me in that first dungeon in Skyrim is when you free the guy from the spider web and then he runs away. He immediately runs away from you. I was like 14, I think, and just so trusting. He was like, let me down, I'll give you the thing. And like, I cut him down from the spider webs and then he immediately took off running. It like jump scared me. I was shocked. So that's the thing. Don't betray me. Ooh. My Florida man B-Day result. Florida man and woman sentenced for conspiracy to sell counterfeit drugs on dark web. Damn, you got a cool one. You got a cyberpunk Florida man. Maybe I should try it without my birth year. Just my birth date. Freddie Langford pled guilty on July 5th, 2011 to violating federal wildlife laws by transporting non-native tilapia from Florida to Louisiana. Another result notes that a Florida man was detained on that date for making harassing phone calls to a Connecticut company. Sick. Hide your tilapia. I'm about to be in there. Taking it to Louisiana. Louisiana better look out. Noriochi and Pat, welcome in, y'all. How are you both? How was your weekend? How's your week? Gators are freshwater, crocs are saltwater. Oh, was the bite thing a thing at all? Or did I completely make that up? Hang on. The difference between crocodile and alligator. What's the difference? I don't want to read like the AI response because I don't trust it. The first is the shape of the snout. In alligators, it's broad, while in crocodiles, it's narrow. Next are the teeth. In the case of alligators, the lower teeth are typically not visible when the mouth is shut. In crocodiles, however, some teeth in the bottom jaw appear, most notably the large fourth tooth. I don't like how it calls that the large fourth tooth. Crocodiles are typically more aggressive than gators. I'll make sure to take note of the size of its snout when it's charging so I know whether or not I'm in danger. Tilapia is a Nile perch. Oh. Is it? Welcome in, Jack. How are you? Hide your shrimp, hide your gar, hide your tilapia. Wow, I am online for a live stream. Hallie, you did it. Welcome. How are you? It's so good to see you. How was your week? And Azur, welcome in. Thanks for joining. I'm pretty sure if you're getting bitten by either, the last thing you're worried about is the size of their teeth. Nah, come on. Come on. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Alligators will see you later. Crocodiles will see you after a while. That's so stupid. I'm mad I didn't think of that first. Doing well. Still have an invite for our Discord. Wait, shit. I'm doing it right now. You messaged me, didn't you? And I didn't see it because I'm horrid. I found it. Hang on. Hang on. Shit. Hang on. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba. Paste. Go. Damn it. Ah, shit, the invite expired. I'm sorry. If you send it right now, I will accept it right now. I'm so sorry. I'm really terrible. Anyone that has ever needed to get a hold of me for any reason will tell you that that's miserable. Jen! Shut the fuck up! Is that Jen here right now? Literally right here, right now? Jen, how are you? How's your week? How's your life? Tell me everything. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello. Welcome. Everyone say hi, Jen. Hi, Jen. And Texas gators are more aggressive because mama say they ain't got no toothbrush for all those teeth. Those big old teethers. They just got big teethies. Sent to Discord. Oh, shit. You're switching it up on me. Dear Lord, I don't know how to use the internet. I'm sorry. Ah. Oh my god, you sent it there too. I'm so sorry. Thank you for sending it again. I have read and agreed to the rules. I'm joining a super secret Discord. Exclusive for Michigan people. Is Jen here right now? Hi, life's good. Week's just started, so... Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Same. We're writing adventures and talking fantasy in the zombie apocalypse. Jen, what would you do in the zombie apocalypse? What's your plan? Curious, anyone here want to play Savage Worlds? Running a supers game in a couple of weeks. I keep hearing that Savage Worlds is awesome. If I had a minute of spare time, I'd be like, hey, what's up? Also, We're gonna read. We're gonna read it. It's not gonna be the Codex of Aihrde. We're gonna read through some fiction written by Steve. Because it's been a while since we started at the very beginning of the Waters of Dun Hollow. So we're gonna do that. The plan is primitive camping in the middle of the Kisachi National Forest. Fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. No zombies are gonna go to a national forest. They don't care about national parks, do they? Do zombies have hobbies? Surely not. Surely not, right? Because they're just like wandering scavengers eating brains. Yeah, eating brains. But if they had enough brains, if they could seize the means of production of brains, could zombies have society? Discuss, and then we'll jump into reading. Tracking or hunting. But do they enjoy it? Do they love it? Or do they just do it? Zombies are monsters driven by hunger. Hang on. I'm gonna step off screen for a second and just blow my nose, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna cook. Give me like 1 second. I forgot what I was gonna say. I mean, the thought is if I get far enough away from the zombie food, I myself wouldn't be zombie food, right? Yeah, you'd have to contend probably with other survivors thinking the same thing. And that was something else we talked about. What's more dangerous? Some guy with a bat or a zombie? Try again. Original Question of the Dead asked that question. Bub the zombie was awesome. Bub the zombie? Oh man, so yeah, I've never seen any of the Day of the Dead fucking again with like the wimp about horror stuff. I've never seen it. But again, heard it's like a classic. Hey Kev, welcome in. Good to see you. Like any hobby, some would enjoy and some would find it more troublesome and just linger. Yeah. Well, like I guess the question is like, do zombies want things? Like, so they're driven by, is it hunger? Are they just constantly hungry and wanting to like eat brains? Or is it the desire to eat brains, not because they're hungry and they want to munch and crunch on it, but because they want to go and get it? It like, is it a desire or is it a need? You know what I mean? This makes me want to go watch Warm Bodies again. Wait, I heard about that one. That was the one with that guy who's really funny. Wait. Right? Who is that guy? Nicholas Hoult. Yes. I should watch that. I like him. I just saw Superman for the first time. Great movie. He was awesome as Lex Luthor. I asked my players for villain ideas. One suggested Captain Underpants. I'm making Commander G-String instead. Oh my god, you're kidding me. That rules. Oh my god, Commander G-String. Oh, I wish there was ever an opportunity for me to adopt that nickname as my own. Just because that's hilarious. That rules. You should for sure write that in. Write that in. Keep it. In the end, zombie culture would be ended by the end of the living. Unless they can... Zombies can't procreate, I'm sure. But, like, do they need human brains? Can it be any kind of brains? Because if it can be any kind of brains... Could zombies hunt the world to extinction? Or would, like, an ecosystem develop? Energy string reminder all of the importance of flossing. Okay, I'm entirely too entertained by that. I think we need to start reading some fiction. And I've nearly finished my tea. I have been feeling absolutely fucking insane today. So thank you for holding space and letting me word vomit at all of you. This is very fun. Maybe an ego system. One might say that zombies already have culture, if you just look inside and see what's left. Sorry. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna stop. Sheeple. I said I was gonna stop. Alright. Here's the thing. That sounds like my goth days. Never quite so far away. You can never outrun those days, can you? So we're going to be reading tonight from A Houseless God and Other Tales. This is the first book in the Waters of Dunhollow series. If you desire to read along, but no pressure, because hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to read it for you. Hang out. Settle in. This is a fun stream to like... Well, I don't know if it's a fun stream at all. This is a stream where once we start reading, you can settle into a task. If you want to like clean or do homework or work on something or write or do whatever, I'm just going to be here reading the story until the end. So, yeah, we're just going to start at the prologue. Hey, Bob, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. God damn. Y'all started the stream so supportive, and that was really, really cool. Not to be like, you haven't been any supportive at all. No, I really, really appreciate it. I know I say it every time, and I'll keep it short, because I'm sure people are tired of hearing my spiel about it, but we never expect to receive any money on Twitch, and when we do, it all goes back into Twitch, and, like, helps us, like, produce more stuff, and hire more people, and, like, just try to, like, try new things. Wow. Nick just got home. Trouble! Quit barking! Hey, welcome home. I think he has his headphones in. How was the gym? It's fine. Everyone loved it. Everyone say you loved it. It was great. Do you have anything that you would like to say to the people of the troll community? He hopes everyone's having a good Monday. That was very sweet. Anything else? He says get out there and do something special for your partner. That's sweet. You're sweet. What is the title? It is called A Houseless God. It has a picture of Ava on the cover astride her iconic paint. And yeah, it's the first book in the series. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna, for the love of God, get into the reading. Thank you all for being patient with me while I've been losing my mind today. So we're gonna start at the prologue. Trolls Ah. Before I do that, is the music right? I don't know if the music's right. Hang on. I swear we're gonna do it. That might be a little better. Okay, now for real. And thank you all again for the gifted subs. We super appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Houseless God is the title? Yes, exactly. It's a collection of 3 short stories in this book. She followed his tracks easily enough. For days they blundered through the woods, meandering listlessly, seemingly without purpose or direction of any design she could discern. Lost, she thought to herself. He must have succeeded in retrieving the sapling, for the orcs followed him with reckless abandon. But there was no purpose to his movement. Sorry about that. Is that better? Sorry, gang. His steps were heavy, though when he rested, she found little food scraps. So he wore armor, chain, or something heavier probably. He drank much, too, for his weight sank in the loamy earth and remained overlong. This by several streams and a pool of brackish water. Death hounded him and the sapling, too. He ate little, carried nothing but weapons, drank overmuch, wandered recklessly in the darkened fold. Looking up, the canopy of the dark wood hung over her like a comforting blanket. Little spears of light lanced the foliage, but the trees drank much of the sun's nourishment before it reached the forest floor, so that there, the light was pale and sickly and seemed to waver. The folds of shadows were like walls to her, the canopy a roof, and she took strength from it, thrived in it. Her home for many years, few, if any, knew its pulse as she did. She loved it, and the forest, in turn, was a little less indifferent. Well, nameless knight, I promised Cornelius I would seek you out and give you aid. Or failing that, the sapling you must surely carry. The warm day of early spring lay locked above the forest roof, and the paths of the darkened fold unfolded cool before her as she moved along the trail beaten to ruin by shoddy orc boots. Their passage proved such that the normal roughage of forest bramble and bush stood back from her, failing to grab a hold of the green cloak, pants, or bow. Even so, the journey proved difficult. The broken ground, torn by small furrows of root trail and by taller, older roots weathered free of soil, slowed her passage. Ava left little track or trail sign as she passed. Her light step and easy gait made sure of that. Some few hours further down, ever deeper into the trackless wastes of that ancient wood, she realized that the orcs were overtaking the night. They would do so soon if she did not intervene. Redoubling her steps, she moved ever quicker. She knew this country, and guessed rightly that the knight's meanderings would lead him to Gurthap Falls and the fortress there. The following orcs would most likely catch him near that haunted place. Moving off the trail, she cut south through the woods. She moved as a fox now, or deer, seeing the trail before her where no trail lay. She passed without a trace, weaving in and out brush and under limb and bow for many miles until she came to a broad stream that tumbled down from the north and west. Her speed put her ahead of the orcs. This she knew, and hopefully ahead of the knight. Angling back up the stream the way it came, she hoped to meet him and bring him to a safe place, allowing the orcs to blunder on in their own folly. The stream, shallow now but occasionally broad enough to carve out flat ground on either bank, offered her an easy enough road so that she passed on up its course at a high rate of speed. She came out on what was likely to be their path some half an hour later. The sun began to dip, and the darkened shadows, barely relieved by the light of day, darkened further. In the pale light of the setting sun, she first saw the knight's heavy boot print in the mud, not more than an hour old. Water still stood in it, pushed up from the ground beneath his heel, but not fully soaked back in. Then she saw the tiny petals of goldenrod flowers, clinging atop their long stalks. They stood in a small meadow no more than a dozen feet from one end to the other. Sorry, a few dozen feet from one end to the other. The sun touched their tiny yellow petals with gentle rays of warm light. A sadness came over her, like a warm wind on a cold day. Those flowers held for her a magic few others could understand, the spirits of those she loved. The orc almost caught her unawares. It issued from the darkening path with an expression of indolent ignorance, wholly focused on the trail in front of it. The beastly creature, darkness and evil, fashioned when the Allfather's mind fell, shattered by the power of Ondluk, the goblin sorcerer, in the long-ago days of the Goblin-Dwarf Wars. The creature stopped, its mind wholly on the thought of man-flesh, wrapped in chain and iron-shod boots, failed to register fully the long green cloak, the wild red hair, decorated with braids and silver clips, the leather and fur-lined belt, and the bow. Blood rushed through her veins, and thoughts of her sister and the flowers she held so dear vanished. The scar on her left cheek showed white as she pulled the bow, aimed, and loosed it in one fluid movement. The orc's thoughts fell to oblivion, and his soul passed from Aihrde to the Rimfelt, that road to the wretched plains and the realms of the evil dead, long before his mind registered what he saw on the trail before him. More spilled out of the trail behind him, a dozen and more. They wore heavier armor, thick boiled leathers, sewn with rings or small squares of steel. Helms and shields of wood and iron, coupled with axes, cleavers, spiked clubs, and thick-bladed curved daggers rounded out their war gear. They howled in rage as their tracker fell upon the forest path, leaping over his body with murder and vengeance on their minds. No need to track now, for their prey stood before them. Little matter that this wild-haired woman seemed different than the ironclad warrior. One was as good as the other in the cooking pots and roasting spits. Knowing a dozen orcs on an open path posed a threat, she turned back to the creek bed. She regretted the lost arrow, though perhaps circling back would yield its fortune to her quiver once more. She chose to continue following the creek bed north and west, away from the river, for she surmised that if the knight, once he came to the river, were to follow it, he would follow it south of the falls, where she could easily find him. For north of the falls were Girthap, and probably death. The earth yielded to her light step only a little as she sprinted up the creek. For their part, the orcs howled in joy and rage and turned to pursue. Some followed the path down to the creek and veered up it. Others turned and plunged into the wood, angling towards the direction she ran. They trusted their instincts under the dark fold's thick canopy as much as they did underground. In a matter of seconds, she covered several hundred feet of ground and realized the orcs could not keep up. Heavy gear, thick short legs, and generally clumsy on broken paths, These beastly creatures were already struggling. The orc stood a vicious foe on the field of battle, as tall as a man, accounted in armor, and well served with sword, axe, and spear. They fought well. Their mottled dark green skin matched the patchy nature of the forest and most dark places, but their tusks, grown from a lower and upper jaw that they adorned with gold and silver, tattoos and other carvings, stood out. The metal particularly caught light of varying degrees. The tusks were things of pride to the orc, often grown to just a hair's breadth from the eye on the lower jaw, and the upper, down and past the chin. She paused, allowing several to see her. They called out in their strange language, half their own, a little vulgate, but with a mangling of Enochian woven throughout. She picked up a little, but what little she did not care for. A slight frown crossed her face, and then a smile. Drawing her bow, no arrow knocked. She threatened to shoot, and the orc stumbled and jumped to the left and right. Turning, she moved on up the creek bed, releasing the tension from the well-oiled gut string she had made herself several weeks ago. The orcs pursued her, crashing through the wood in a broad, open, wedge-shaped line, calling to one another. She led them on this way, well past dusk, into the dark hours of the early evening. Accustomed to the forest, the trail, even in the dark, proved easy enough to travel, even when she lingered so the orcs could spy on her. For several hours and half a dozen miles into the wood, she kept this up. The creek bed lay some miles in the past, and the forest opened somewhat. Deep in the uplands between Heth's Perch and the Westerling, this country saw little traffic by men or elves. The Fae owned this wilderness, and though she counted few enemies among those feckless creatures, she knew they could be deadly dangerous in play. All these thoughts tumbled through her mind as she came to a broad clearing, several 100 feet wide. Moon-draped, the silvery tinted grass stood a foot or more deep. It stood still in this windless night. Stepping into the glade, she stood forth, proud and strong. Her head was held high, the tangles of her red hair caught in the light of the moon. She spoke so that all could hear. It was in the beginning that Wenifar made the birds, and cast them into the winds so that all the world was pleased. And for this, she is accounted the greatest of the Val Ericune. She began crossing the meadow, having no idea if her compliments to the god would appease the Fae, or if indeed any Fae called this clearing home. Then, under her breath, she spoke again. May your horned velvet never fail you. Crossing the clearing without mishap, she paused on the far side, turning to see the first of the orcs lumber into the open moonlight, with calls of mad, glee-filled rage at the sight of their prey. But she saw, too, a spider's web of silk, spun by no spider, flung across the glade, and she knew that either she, or the orcs, or the moon's light woke the creatures that lingered in the shadows. And, once roused, their games were as often deadly as not. She fled into the darker wood. Silence followed her. For a short while, she moved up into the tree line, confident that the orcs no longer pursued her, dead or lost she could not say. She turned her mind back to the south. The night and the sapling filled her mind. But before she caught up with him, or his body, she would return to those yellow flowers, and the memory of a sister long lost to her and the world at large. Somewhere, a startled crow cawed, and she thought she discerned some words in its croaking speech, but Only those who followed Heth could speak that strange bird's language, and, so it is said, those about to die. So that is the prologue. It is exactly 9 p.m. So I think what we should do is call it for tonight. I know normally we go 2 hours, but I gotta keep writing this adventure. So I'm gonna go an hour early and finish writing this, and it'll be in the Crusader 29. Pretty excited about it. I hope you guys liked the prologue. The Waters of Dunhollow books are really, really fun. A lot of the character art that you've seen over on this side, that's of Yurik and Ava, who are the protagonists of this like series of stories. I love them. They're great characters. And we're gonna read some more of The Waters of Dunhollow next time. Next week, in fact. Same bat time, same bat place. We're gonna be here Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, maybe for 2 hours next time. There's a playlist of your readings under my YouTube. Dude, that is so flattering. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Savage. And thank you all. Thanks to everyone who hung out, participated in my crazy ramblings. I was in a mood tonight. Y'all helped. I feel a little bit more sane, and we're gonna go and we're gonna keep writing, and we're gonna finish this. It's done tonight. That is my pledge to myself and you all. Love these stories. Thank you so much. So do I. I really, really, really love Aihrde. Aihrde is what like hooked me on this company. It's a fantastic setting, and being able to read some short fiction that's like set in it has been really cool. So I'm really glad that you all are like on the journey with me. We're gonna go. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. We will be here tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central with Steve's AMA. No stream on Wednesday, and then Thursday we're gonna be back with our company actual play with the TLG staff. I'm a player, Peter Bradley's a player, Davis Chenault is a player, Jeremy Fargus is a player, Chuck is a player, and Steve is a DM, and we would love to see you guys there, so come hang out. Thank you again. Go in peace. Make the words. Do good. I will see you next week. Mwah. Goodbye.